Yes, yes, yes. We are finally live. My goodness me. What a way to start the show with an epic glitch. Hopefully that is not a little omen about how things are going to go further in the show. Me and Paul are back with you this week to bring you the best Dynasty advice out there and a hell of a lot of fun along the way. So let's get right into our Week 6 preview. Let's go. Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back into the Dynasty Hotseat, the only Dynasty show out there that is a certified inferno. Whew, it is good to be back, Paul. I feel like this season is just flying by. We're week 6 already. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what's even more crazy? Your internet.
Is it shocking?
You keep breaking up and crackling, and it's really bad.
Well, hopefully this it will hold. We can make it hold, Paul. So hopefully we'll be okay here, and it's not too bad for the listeners. Anyone in the comments, hopefully you can let us know if you're having some difficulty hearing as well, and hopefully it's just Paul's headset and not my internet. But I probably think it might be the internet. We've had issues before. Oh, we're gonna persevere. We're gonna push through anyway. We got 2 sort of big topics to start with at the top of the show, and we'll start on the sad news. There was a couple of big injuries, but one of them was Justin Jefferson. What was your initial reaction to that?
It's awful. It's awful for fantasy players. It's not so bad for the Vikings. I said it on the Rewind show. They're having a difficult season, having a bad season. So it's, if anything, it's now put him on IR, leave him on there, go the next few weeks without him. I'd leave him on there for 6 weeks, if anything,
Yeah.
And then, see where you are in 6 weeks. If you lose your next 6 games, you sort of go, okay, no worries. We'll go and get ourselves a nice pick next year and a nice way to build a team and get some better players in. So, but from a fantasy perspective, I think it's a really difficult one, because he's Justin Jefferson. He's in every week. He does it every week. He performs every week. It didn't matter what team he was playing against. It didn't matter what defense. It didn't matter anything. It was always, he'd always perform. He'd always do it for your fantasy team. I think a lot of, because Justin Jefferson's been quite good this year, isn't he, really? And I think a lot of these teams that have been winning week in, week out could have really taken a hit this week with, Richardson going on IR, Achan going on IR, James Conner going on IR, Justin Jefferson going on IR. So I think these teams where have gone, do you know what, I'm doing really well. You may have lost 2 or 3 players there, and you may be now having to work your waiver wire and trying to work a bit of magic.
Yeah, it's so tricky. And in my home league, I lost J.K. Dobbins, now James Conner, and Anthony Richardson as well. But then my mate in the same league, he's lost Devin Achan, and he's also lost Justin Jefferson. So it's just brutal out there. Like it is so difficult to keep a healthy team, which is why in Dynasty you got to do the hard work the years before to collect these players and build up resources. And what are you doing if you're a Justin Jefferson owner here? If you're obviously you own Jefferson, odds on that you are someone who's able to contend. Are you going out and being aggressive and trying to pick up another stud wide receiver, like maybe an older guy? Or are you even tempted to, dare I say, like trade Justin Jefferson? Could you go get Jamar Chase for Justin Jefferson kind of deal?
So I think what you just said was, can you trade Justin Jefferson for Jamar Chase in a sort of deal? I think that would be a difficult one. I think a couple of weeks ago it would have been a very same sort of thing. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, it's kind of the same value. You kind of do it straight up. maybe if you're the Jefferson owner and you want Jamar Chase, you chuck a third in there just to maybe get it over the line. Now, I don't think the Jamar Chase owner is going to sell you Jefferson without at least maybe something on there because he's gone on to IR. He knows you're desperate, sort of thing. If it was me, if I was in a contending position and I've lost Justin Jefferson, you're probably going to lose him for the next 6 weeks. Then I'd be a little bit aggressive with maybe my first round pick and sort of go in, do you know what? I'm a back end of the first round kind of pick. I'd maybe be looking at flipping that for a bit of cover. Maybe something like Puka Nacua,
Ooh. Yeah,
go and throw a first round pick at Puka Nacua and get and it's also a smart move in a play of you're getting a decent wide receiver for the future as well, and you're getting good cover for while Jefferson's out.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. I'm seeing some of the questions rolling in for our hot question segment, which will be coming up very soon. So thank you for those. We will get to those whenever we get to that segment. If you are currently watching, by the way, all over on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, the only way to submit questions is on YouTube. So if you haven't already, go check out the tweet. It's got the link to the YouTube video. And hey, while you're there, why not give us a little subscribe as well? Thank you so much for joining, by the way. A couple of people watching live. If you've not already, hit that subscribe button. Always really, really helps out. So we're going to go then, Paul, on to topic number 2. And this is about the time where you have to decide, am I a contender or am I not? And in your head, when do you think, geez, I've got to start again here. I've got to blow this team up. Is it about this time or are we still a wee bit too early?
No, I think we're at the right time now. But it depends on your league, because if you've got I'm in a couple of leagues. What do they call it now? The median, where you play against, so you can get 2 wins per week. So
I like that.
You know what I mean? You could end up going, do you know what? I don't know, 0 what's it now? What we had 5 weeks. So you could be 0-10, but you could win the next 5 weeks and all of a sudden be 10-10.
Yeah.
What you like? What's funny? What's funny?
Just the thought of being 0-10 is hilarious.
Yeah. I don't play in many leagues like that, but that's a bit different. I'd look at things a bit different with the medium because you can really get back into it, and you can even find that you've lost every match you've been in, but you beat the median every week. So you know what I mean. So there's a lot of things. I think if you're 0-5, I think yes, blow it up. To make your playoffs, you're going to need to win a high percentage of the rest of the games in your league. You know what I mean, just to make the playoffs. So if I was 0-5, I'd be looking at blowing it up. But if I was sort of like, 1-4, maybe even 2 and 3 definitely, but 1-4, you are maybe still a little bit early, because 1-4, you're talking 3 weeks, you're 4-4, and you could be sat in 7th, 8th spot in your league, and you're only 2 places off a playoff. So I suppose you probably are at the point where, if you're 0-5, this is the right time to blow it up now. I think you are too far away.
Yeah, it depends as well on your, like, what is your injury situation. You could have just been really unlucky with injuries. You got to be really honest with yourself about that, and really say, am I here because my team has just been unlucky? Is my points for really high, or my injuries really bad? Or if you don't have any record of injuries and your points for is really low, you need to be aggressively trying to blow this up. And the best advice I have for any team doing that is you need to go out and target people. Look at the people that are 5-0. Look at the people that are wanting to win this year. And here's a sneaky little tip for you. Ask them for later picks, because if they're going to have, their 24 first is going to be late on, go ask for their 2026 first. If you're rebuilding, just take what you can. And odds on that is going to be a little bit better than their 2024 first. So that can sometimes help to get it done, because they're like, oh, I only have to give you this, but that value of that pick is only going to accumulate over time. So that is a move I quite like to do. And obviously, you want to start with running backs. If you're rebuilding, you want any usable running back off your team, right, Paul? Is that where you would start as well?
Yeah. Your running backs are your key moving point in Dynasty, really, aren't they? If you've got a running back that is producing at the moment, like I don't know, say I'm trying to think of somebody now. Say like
Kyron Williams.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, but Kyron Williams is still quite young, isn't he?
Yeah.
But you don't know what the future is. Like a Zach Moss, okay? Like a Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Zach Moss is performing really well. If you've got him on your team, he holds a little bit of value. Now, if you look at the person that's 5-0, all of a sudden has Devon Achan on his team, all of a sudden he's saying he's lost him to IR, and then you're going, right, okay, here, I'm 0-5. Why don't you have Zach Moss off of me? Why don't you give me your 26th first or whatever? Because that's what you like to do. You keep offering me a trade for Cooper Kupp with the 26th first. So yeah, why not use your running backs? Your running backs is your leverage, because during draft season, nobody really wants the running backs. They all want the wide receivers. But during in season, I think you'll see more trades for running backs than you would for wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all about, if you are rebuilding, you want everything, you want the stars to align. So these running backs are short-term options. By the time you're, probably ready to contend again, you're probably looking at 2 years down the line. These running backs might not be fantasy relevant then. So get them off your team while you can. So that brings us to the end of our two topics of news, or the two main topics for the show. We're going to get into, just very quickly, week 6 coming up. We have to have a nailed on start and a nailed on sit for this week for people. I'll kick things off, Paul. This is a pretty easy one for me. The nailed on starter for me, if you have him, Isaiah Pacheco of the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? He's going up against every week. Whoever's playing the Broncos, start that running back, because the Broncos cannot defend the run, it seems. So Isaiah Pacheco, a violent, dangerous runner. I think this could be feasting season against, the Denver Broncos that are looking really sorry for themselves. What do you think about that
one? Yeah, so I was listening to a podcast the other day, I think it was Monday, and a really, really, really smart guy said his start of the week was going to be Isaiah Pacheco on that show.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. It was me on the Wildcard Rewind. Yes. That's right.
Yes, it was. I learned from the best.
Me. I said Isaiah Pacheco for that exact reason. So I love that start. I love that start for the exact reason that he's playing the Broncos and they can't stop running backs. So my start of the week is going to be Jordan Addison.
Oh, shocker. I also listened to that podcast where you suggest Jordan Addison as the So talk to us about Jordan Addison.
Right. The one I've said, I think I've said it 3 times now or something like that. He's going to be my start of the week. But and the one week where you want him to be your start of the week is the week when Justin Jefferson is going out injured and he's on IR. So they need somebody to catch the ball. He's already proved that he can catch a ball. So for me, it's Jordan Addison's week, and he's playing the Bears. So you know what I mean? They're going to be flinging it about for fun.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, Addison will be there. I like KJ Osborne as well this week. I think he's a sneaky play as well. KJ Osborne's a pretty solid receiver. Obviously, TJ August, all these guys have got a little bit of a bump with Jefferson going out. I don't expect anyone, don't expect Jordan Addison to suddenly get every target that Justin Jefferson was seeing. It'll be spread out a little bit, but Addison should certainly see a bump. For my main sit of the week, I'm going to go with someone who people will probably be very tempted to play, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to go Gardner Minshew, just because he's going up against a pretty tough Jacksonville Jaguars defense there. We know that Josh Allen is there on that team. He can cut through most teams. Minshew, maybe not the most mobile guy. Yeah, I just can't see that going tremendously well for Gardner Minshew, especially with his tendency to throw interceptions and kind of fluff big games on occasion. So I would avoid Minshew if you can, which most people should be able to, right? He wasn't on anyone's roster a couple of weeks ago. You should be able to avoid slipping into that trap.
Yeah. So my sit of the week is going to be Ramondre Stevenson
Okay, I can see that.
for the New England Patriots. He
They've
seems
been
to be
terrible.
losing a lot of. Yeah, they've been awful. I expect them to maybe do a little bit better this week. They're playing the Raiders, but
Yeah.
he just seems to be losing passing work. He seems to be losing everything each week. He's splitting snaps with Zeke Elliott, and what you wanted from Ramondre at the start of the season, the way people were drafting him, you wanted more than what he's given you. So I feel like now he's now somebody that I'm potentially going to be leaving on my bench the next couple of weeks until he proves to me that he can do more than what he is at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's solid. Like, I mean, I said on the Wildcard Dynasty show, it was just like so ironic that I mean the Patriots name spells PAT riots, and there's been almost no PATs for the Patriots lately. They've just been terrible. And Bill Belichick, he'll ruin your dreams. Like he will do that. He will actively go out there and built Ramondre up. I think he did it on purpose, Paul. Like he built him up just to tear him down and laugh at the fantasy football community. I'm old Bill out there. He doesn't give an F at all. So Paul, we're gonna transition into our hot questions segment, and thank you. We have had a couple of questions being submitted. Thank you for those. If you are listening, remember over on X on the live stream there, you need to hop on to the YouTube stream and submit your question in the comment box there. It'll pop up for us here, and we'll be able to see it. So we got a couple of questions to get to. Starting off with one from listener Ballard Brazil. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Thanks for your question. And he's just pretty simple. You take it in Dynasty, Russell Wilson or Derek Carr? I mean, this is close.
So your signal has gone really bad there. But in Dynasty, Russell Wilson or Derek Carr, can I say neither and say Brock Purdy?
You can't say neither, no.
You know. Oh, okay. Okay, so then Derek Carr. I think Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is very done. I think he holds some value in Dynasty because of that mega insane contract he's got, and he's going to be under contract for the next 3 or 4 years minimum. So he does hold some kind of value. He's just not good. We thought it was like the head coach last year, and you were like, let Russ cook and everything like this. But he's got Sean Payton there, who is, he's a proven head coach. He's proven to be a good head coach, and still Russell Wilson is bad. The only reason he's doing okay in fantasy this season is because they're losing by so many points at halftime that it's just garbage time, and they're just going, oh yeah, have a touchdown. We can give you one to spare, So yeah, he is bad. He is bad. I don't like him. So for me, Derek Carr. What about you, Max? Which way do you lean? The opposite?
Yeah. Nah, I'll take Derek Carr here as well. I think the Saints are like happier to play Derek Carr than the Broncos will be to play Russell Wilson. He might not be very long. And then who's picking up that guy after this stint with the Broncos? He'll be really old. He'll have shown almost nothing. Yeah, I'm leaning Derek Carr too, Paul, for sure. So thank you very much, Ballard Brazil, for that question. We got another one here, Paul, just from Josh. Much easier to pronounce, Josh. Thank you for your question. Now, this is a very 20-man PPR team. Now, do you think this means that it's a league with 20 people or a team with 20 people? I'm not sure.
I would say that it's a league with 20 people.
Yeah, okay. So that makes it, much, much harder to acquire players. That is true. Well, I'll give you two separate readings then. How about that? So the team is Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, Cole Kmet, and Josh Downs. So that's what it looks like. Now, they've not mentioned a quarterback, so I'm maybe presuming it is a league with 20 people. I'm not. Oh, no, Russ, sorry, is there. He does not capitalize Russ because he hates him, obviously. If this is a 20-man league, this is a very good team. If this is a 20-player roster that you're allowed, this is still a good team, I think. It's a pretty good starting lineup. I would say. Josh Downs stands out for me, though, as a bit of a weak link. You'd want someone more experienced there in your lineup, but Downs is good for Dynasty long term. What do you think, Paul?
Have we lost you? No, you're back. I've played in a 32-man league, and I know how difficult it is to draft players. So going off the basis of that, if this is he has said it's a 20 people league. So yes, that is a solid team in a 20 people league. Yeah. I know the difficulty. I've drafted in a 16-man league. I know the difficulty of drafting decent players and getting like a solid team built. And to me, I think you've got a solid running back. You've got a really, really good wide receiver core. You've got two good running backs. You've got an okay QB, and I understand that QB value is so high in that one. So you probably would have. It depends where you were picking on what kind of QB you get. If you pick in the first 16 or even the first 12, you're getting an okay pick. After that, you're kind of getting what's left. So yeah, I really like that team. I think that's a solid team in a 20 people league. So.
Yeah, for sure. If you're in a league that big, for sure, be taking advantage of first round picks, because a first round pick in that league is not a real first round pick. Like you're sort of, if you're winning that league, your first round pick is a late second round pick, really. So take advantage of that, because people might not think of that whenever you're trading with them. So use that to your advantage if you're a contender in those bigger leagues. So people will see a first round pick and go, "Oh my god, first round, yeah," and smash accept before they really think about it. So that's always a good tip for those bigger leagues, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely. I had a similar conversation. You play in my league, the Champions League, about a guy was trying to trade for another player using a second round pick. And he's one of my friends, and he was speaking to me about it. And he was like, "Oh no, it's only a second round pick." And I was like, "Yeah, but dude, there's only 8 people in the league. So if it's the back end of a second, it's actually a 204 pick, so you have to value things differently." So that's probably a really good tip, Max, to be fair. Whenever you're playing in these different leagues, like a 20-man league, look at that, because of a 120 is actually a 208, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you win it and you've given away your first round pick, you're actually giving away the 208 in a standard 12-man league. So
yeah,
I agree with you that that's wicked tip.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, Josh, you're able to use that along the way. But thank you very much for the question. And Paul, I'm gonna roll in and give you my hot question to you. This is a hard one. Okay, are you ready? So,
yeah,
Paul, you may only choose one of these things to happen. Okay. 1, Josh Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals miraculously go on a winning run and win the Super Bowl this year. Or 2, Wales win the Rugby World Cup. What are you going for?
I wish your signal would have broken up then. Honestly, I've come to terms with the fact that the Arizona Cardinals are not going to win anything this year. I'm still fully on board that Wales could win the World Cup. So I'm going to say Wales to win the World Cup.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer, right? It's a World Cup, right? It's every 4 years. Like, yeah, I think that's the answer. I would go the same.
But then, obviously, if Arizona Cardinals win it, they'd be the champions of the world, wouldn't they?
Don't tell Noah Lyles that. Yeah, there would be. All right. If you're watching now and you sort of think, "Oh, I've missed a chance for any questions," feel free. Please leave some more. We'll see if we can get them towards the end of the show. Paul, you've got a hot question for me though. What is it?
I've got two.
Okay.
So one is fantasy related. You know me, I'm the one that sticks to the rules and goes fantasy related, and one is just random questions. So my question for you, Mags, is: would you rather die by drowning or burning alive?
Oh, drowning. That's easy. That's an easy
drowning,
one, right?
Really?
Yeah.
On
I
the
don't want to
certified
burn.
inferno, you'd rather drown.
Yeah. Yeah, no, burning alive's like the worst way to go, surely. I think drowning would be. Drowning obviously wouldn't be
No, I'd
nice,
rather
but
burn.
you'd rather
I'd rather
burn.
burn.
Really?
Yeah, well, I'm going to hell anyway, so you know what I mean.
Yeah. Get you practicing. Yeah.
Get used to it. Yeah, and so my other question is, I listened to while I was walking the dog earlier. I listened to the Wildcard Dynasty show, and heard you guys talking about wicked. Two of them presenters were awesome. Shout out to Kevin Alley, by the way. So and I heard you playing your tight end game on who has more points, and so that made me think about this question. And my question for you is, if you were at the moment, if you were doing a startup now, how early would you reach for somebody like a Travis Kelce, a Sam Laporta, Mark Andrews, them type of players? Because obviously we've looked at every season and gone, oh right, okay, the key is to have that elite tight end. And then obviously you were pointing out that Sam Laporta, who is tight end 1, has the same amount of points as Jacoby Myers, so he's not actually shining out, but I suppose in that position, the tight end position, he's dominating from everyone else, so he's still technically, in my opinion, he's still worth a lot, So my question to you is, how early would you go for one of these tight ends? Because it was all, I've seen Kelce go in tight end premium leagues sort of in the first or second round, so how early would you go?
I don't think you can take any of them in round 1 or 2. I think Travis Kelce is like a phenomenon. Like, we might not see tight ends going that early in non-premium leagues for a long time. Sam Laporta, I think if you take Sam Laporta in round 4, 5, that seems about right. But tight end premium, if you really want to sell a story in tight end premium, I could see somebody take him in round 3, but that might be a bit too rich for me. So, like, he's really good, but he's not Travis Kelce. Like, that's like the freak of all freaks. So I think round 3 in the tight end premium at an absolute push, but probably 4 or 5. Paul, I don't know. What do you think about that?
How early would you go for Travis Kelce then? And is he still your tight end 1?
In Dynasty, my tight end 1 is Travis Kelce. Because
how early would you go for? Would you go for him in round 3 or 4? Is that
3? I think 3 or 4 for Travis Kelce. Just like, because he's had a couple injuries this year. Like, that is one of the signs of slowing down. Obviously, he is old. Like, just hanging out with Taylor Swift, that's got to be pretty nice, right? I mean, how long do you really want to go play football?
Oh, mate. Sorry to interrupt you right there.
You're right.
Have you seen what Sky Bet have done?
No.
So Sky Bet have named all their request to bet specials tonight after Taylor Swift songs.
Nice.
So, like, you've got blank space, Chiefs to win to 0.
That's
and
what the
personal favorite. Personal favorite of mine is Friend Zone. Travis Kelce to not score.
That's good. Yeah, I noticed the commentator did that in the first game that Taylor Swift was there. They were like, Kelce finds a blank space in the end zone. I'm like, that's pretty good. That's all right. I'm happy with that. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, and that's why, Paul. That's why we got a shitty segment like this. My favorite part of the show. It's the sizzle reel, where I get Paul to react to all the best crap on the internet this week. So let's pull up the videos and let's have a look. And Paul, as is tradition almost, we're going to start here with these awesome overhead slow-mo videos of Bijan Robinson. This is one of the most impressive things. I don't know.
He caught it behind him, didn't he? But why is it always Bijan? Why have they not got like one above Christian McCaffrey or,
Yeah.
a wide receiver running a route and just watch them dart, and
I wonder if it's just at the Falcon Stadium, maybe. I'm not sure. Are they the only ones with that camera in their stadium?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but this is ridiculous. That's like a basketball move there, like behind the back. Like he is something else, right? He is a special player. I'll watch this every week. I hope we get one of these every week. I'll put it on the show. Absolutely, it's so impressive from Bijan Robinson. So next up, we got. Hey, you mentioned him earlier. Do you see this lovely trick play from Brock Purdy? The 49ers just toying with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. That was an impressive win. That was an impressive win. I'm still not all set on Brock Purdy as a QB, but I think he's a great asset for fantasy, and he's just at the right place at the right time, isn't he?
He's in the absolutely perfect position, but I mean, you can't fault him for that. Like he's doing. No. He's doing everything he can with what he's got, and that is a lot. And he's doing a lot. And he looks better every week. Like he's getting better and better. Like he's doing great. Fair play to him. Next up, hey, let's have a look at this. Another guy that's getting better and better every week. Tajay Spears, the guy that is now out snapping Derrick Henry kind of consistently. Who's seen this coming?
I know. I'm looking forward. I'm going to see him on Sunday.
Oh, of course.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I get to see some runs by the great Prince
Tajay. Yeah, absolutely. He's worth a first round pick now easily, right?
He's getting there, isn't he? He's definitely getting there.
Yeah. I think I'm happy if I'm a contender. I'll leave it first for Tajay Spears at this stage for sure. I mean, next year he'll be the starting running back. You'd think so? Yeah, I think he's definitely getting up there for sure. This may be my favorite catch of the week from, we all know, Paul, my second favorite team, the Detroit Lions. Aiden Hutchinson. Did you see this interception?
I did, mate. This was wicked. Love it.
Unbelievable. He has got amazing hands. This is not the first time he's made a ridiculous catch for an interception, right?
Yeah, I remember talking all about him when you weren't a traitor and you're on the Rewind show with us. We loved Aiden Hutchinson at the Lions. We loved it.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster as well. Just absolutely crushing that offensive lineman, like getting him out of the way. Was that a tight end? Did they put a tight end at Aiden Hutchinson? Like that's a recipe for disaster. That'll be
is that Ian Thomas? Is it Ian Thomas or Ian Thompson or something like that?
Yeah, I think it might be. I mean, no wonder the Panthers suck. Why put a tight end and Aiden Hutchinson? It was an absolutely horrendous idea. So, yeah, they deserved it. Absolutely deserved that. Poor Bryce Young can't catch a break, though, poor guy. Next, we talked about Russell Wilson. If you're a Broncos fan, how do you feel watching this? Game on the line. This is what Russ does.
Just let Russ cook. Just let Russ order a takeaway, for God's sake.
Yeah, Russ, you've cooked enough, mate. Let's order in maybe another quarterback for sure. He's like absolutely dreadful. Speaking of dreadful, what is this going on? What is this horse like filleting this unicorn? What is going on here, Paul? What is that?
I don't know.
It's absolutely hideous. Like yeah, I can't get this image, that is very... How does this pass through checks? And like bad people are like, yeah, put it on the pitch. I'm like, yeah, this horse sucking dick. Absolutely horrendous from the Denver Broncos. Right. Speaking of, we seen him earlier, George Kittle. Did you see his t-shirt that he had underneath?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Have you seen they want to fine him for it?
They want to fine him for it. And he was on the Pat McAfee show. And he was like, did you know you had that shirt on? He's like, it just happened to be one I was wearing. I didn't realize it was a complete coincidence. He's like, see, NFL, complete coincidence.
Yeah.
Just happened to be wearing it.
Yeah. But isn't it they said his fine is going to be, or could be up to like £10,000. Now, are they right in saying you could be fined more for like like not tucking your socks in or sort of like you see, was it
Yeah.
CD Lamb who kept getting fined because his attire wasn't the way it should be, or Zeke Elliott and all of this, and you're just there like, oh my god,
people
just
get fined.
but then I suppose us British people look at this different and go, oh yeah, that's fine, you crack on, son. Where the Americans are like, oh, we're all winners here, we're all winners.
Yeah, no, this is. I don't care what he. This is. He can afford it. This is worth it. This is absolutely brilliant. Like, I bet he does this every time. Like, I wonder how many times he's had this underneath playing Dallas and not being able to show it. Right?
Yeah. every year.
Yeah. So I look forward to the next time he scores against Dallas, and we'll see that again. You'll have seen this, Paul. Right? This is Matt Canada's reaction to his team scoring a touchdown. I mean, just jumping for joy. What is he doing?
Oh, mate, he's awful, isn't he?
He's
just such a mate. For that, if I was the owner of the Steelers, I'd look at that and go, mate, you have no passion. Get out of here.
So, what I want you to pay attention to, no one's really noticed it. What happens here? Look at the last second. Does a ghost pass through his body here? Like, look at this. What is that? What is that? It's like he's just realized that he's been hired by the Steelers. It's like he's clicked back in. He's like, oh my god! Like it's like he's zoning out completely. Like,
mate,
just
mate. I hope that he realizes he's been signed by the Steelers just to be like, oh my god. Maybe I need to do something on offense, you know?
Draw up some plays, maybe.
Yeah.
You might be wondering why I'm showing footage here of an ice hockey game, but you can't quite hear it, unfortunately. But this is the Pittsburgh Penguins at an ice hockey game. They're chanting "Fire Matt Canada." Can you believe that?
Amazing.
It's traveled over.
Maybe that's what went through him. It was the sound of the ice hockey fans screaming for him to be out, and he went, "Oh, what was that? That was cold."
Yeah, it was the ice coming through from the Pittsburgh Penguins. But yeah, he's gonna go soon, right? The whole city of Pittsburgh, just absolutely wanting him to leave. So he's not got long left, you would assume, right? But I mean, when you're drawing up great players like this, like maybe he'll stick around.
Mate, what the do you know that whole game was a shit show?
A disaster. Like,
it was just a shit show. How the Steelers won that game, I'll never know. That team that just did that won that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You spoke about George Kittle's fine. The entire Ravens team should be fined $10,000 for losing that game. That is a disgrace.
Yeah, it's awful.
Like, they're both not looking. And I know the Ravens have had injuries. They have injuries every year, but you need to beat the Steelers. Like, I'd be furious if I was a Ravens fan. Shout out Tom Strachan. Hopefully you're recovered by now. It all started going downhill, Paul, for the Steelers when they got rid of Chase Claypool. And I don't know if you've seen this exclusive footage of Chase Claypool on his way to Miami. Let's have a look.
Mate, the guy's just shitty.
Yeah, he's bad. Shit. He's real bad. Hey, do you think he's going to play tight end? Is that the future here? Is he going down the JJ Arcega wide side route, and he's just going to be crap?
Do you know what? For the whole thing, I just hope that the Miami Dolphins don't win the Super Bowl now. Because I don't want him to get a ring, be that shit, end up at the Dolphins, and then be like, hey, I got a Super Bowl ring, didn't I? No, you didn't.
Or they cut him right before the Super Bowl. That'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Like they just cut him, he doesn't get a ring.
McDaniels, if you're listening, you cut him. You cut him.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing, Mike. Come on. Yeah, absolutely. This is sadly a lot of us this week. Justin Jefferson owners just going through all of the trades being sent to our inboxes. Just one after the other, right?
Oh, look, it's buffering. Man,
What a
you
sad
need some
affair.
proper Wi-Fi.
I just had an upgrade as well, so I'm just like I'm hoping that it won't be too bad for the rest of these. Hey, have a look here, Paul. This is how I felt waking up to see Anthony Richardson on IR. I've got J.K. Dobbins already on IR. We got James Conner going on IR. We got Justin Jefferson. This is how my day felt like it was going.
Oh yeah, that pretty much sums up like at least 7 of my fantasy teams.
Yeah, that is just like week 5 in a complete nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, but at the end, that was James Conner at the end. That was the final straw. Like, it was too much.
Oh my
Let's
God.
move on. Now, Justin Jefferson, we're not worried about him coming back. He's an absolute dog. Just like this guy. Check out him.
That's pretty impressive.
Look at the stance on him. And look. Look at that handshake. Absolutely love that, right? Justin Jefferson.
What a dog.
What a dog. Just like Jettis, right? He's a dog. He'll be back, no problem at all. Hey, Paul, you know me.
You love a guy falling down a bowling alley, don't you?
I love bowling alley highlights. So let's have a look at this guy. Look, he's sending himself down. Look at this. What a joker. Oh, he gets clattered by the ball. Look at this joker. Wouldn't you love to have a beer with him? Well, this is what I think of him. Let's just get rid of that guy.
Oh, man. People are idiots.
What do you think's behind there?
I dread to think. But you know me? You know what I'd be doing? I'd be the guy that's throwing the bowling ball down at him. That would be me. Absolutely. See the bowling ball that comes in now? That one there, that's me. That's what I'd do.
Do you know who we should ask what's behind there? We should ask Chase Claypool in about 12 months because that's where he's going to be working. Yeah. Have a look at this guy. This impressive feat of strength from this dad here. Look at this. Oh dear. This could also be week 5. This could also be week 5 for many people. Right?
Flying high, and then it all comes crashing.
Here we go. I always want to see what happened after that. Sadly, that's where the video ends, unfortunately. And have you seen this live from college football? I love when they get the band out, get the drums out, right? People doing tricks with them. It's always great to see, right?
Oh, mate. Oh, you silly twat. He's probably called her over as well. Come here. Watch what I can do with my drum.
Yeah.
Whack. Great.
Yeah, not great. Hey, Paul. I've finally done it. I found our outfits for the next UK FFC. You ready?
I hope so.
What do you think?
Oh, mate, I'm definitely red. I'm
just thinking the shower the next day. Like, where do you even start?
Look like somebody out of Trolls,
Yeah, absolutely. But these guys, there's always a lunatic in the stand somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It
wouldn't be the same without them.
And if all else fails and we can't get an outfit, Paul, let's just do what we normally do, right? And chug a few beers like this, right?
Go on, girl. No messing.
You got to be careful there, right? That could end real badly, real quickly.
Oh yeah, but she's had way too many beers to care about that.
Yeah, exactly. You ever done that before? I've never done that with a glass before. Have you ever managed?
No. I can't open my mouth that big.
No, let's maybe we'll practice before next year in London and see what we can do for sure. So Paul, that's all the sizzles that I've got to you, and we've got.
I've got one more.
Oh, you've got one for us. All right. We do actually have one more question that's come through as well with from Nicholas Hartley. Thank you very much, Nicholas. So we'll get to your question right away once Paul shows me a sizzle that he's found. All right.
Oh, what we got here?
You just
How
had
do I
it.
do it? Is it?
Yeah.
Can you see that? Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah.
Right. Let's go back to the start.
Oh yes, I have seen this. This is absolutely ridiculous.
So this 30 seconds left or 38 seconds left on the clock. Miami have got the ball. All they have to do is kneel, and then they run it, fumble it. Georgia Tech recover it with 26 seconds left on the clock. Okay. So then they make a play. Yeah, we'll have that one. Okay. 15 seconds left on the clock. They're now at the halfway mark. And then throw that. And then with 1 second left on the score a winning touchdown. So with 40 seconds left, Miami decided, do you know what? Let's run it. Instead of kneeling, because it's only 3rd and 10, so they've still got 2 more plays.
Yeah.
And instead of kneeling, run a play.
I don't understand that at all. Like I watched the highlights of that game, and every comment in the comment section was, "What was the over under for this game? Like, is there something dodgy going on?" And apparently, no, just horrible coaching. Unfortunately for Miami, who've been quite good this year. Actually,
it's coaching 101. You've got 40 seconds left on the clock. You've got two downs. Just kneel. Just kneel. Literally kneel.
I don't understand that at all. But we've got one more question from a listener to close the show out, Paul. It's from Nicholas Hartley. Thanks for asking a question, Nicholas. He says, tough spot with injuries and a game being tonight. He's got to start 2. He's got Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, who's absolutely terrible, lest we forget, Jordan Addison, and also have Josh Downs and Rashee Rice. If I roll the dice on Addison and he doesn't play. Interesting. So he's got to start 2 of these. I've got 2 pretty locked in, actually, I think, Paul. I'm thinking Jordan Addison and I'm thinking Rashee Rice of these 2.
I was thinking exactly the same.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking exactly the same. I'd take Jordan Addison. I think he plays. If he doesn't play, you've probably got time to go and hit the waivers and find somebody a deep dive. But Addison was a smash for me, and Rashee is your upside play. He's probably going to see the targets. He's probably going to see some targets tonight. He could probably get himself a touchdown. So if you could get 4 targets and a touchdown out of him, you're probably going to be quite happy tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think long-term Javonte Williams will play there just because he's coming back from injury, and McLaughlin's look really good. I think Javonte Williams will be better long-term, but maybe a bit risky putting him straight into your lineup. And Cortland Sutton sucks, so let's not deal with him. Right, we're not a fan of him at all, Paul. So
I'm done with Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, that brings us to the end of the show, Paul. Thank you so much once again for joining me for another preview of some more NFL action. And thank you for everybody for coming along and listening. And hey, if you've not already, make sure over on YouTube you're hitting a like and subscribe and all of that good stuff to keep everything going. Paul, just before we go, do you want to remind everybody where can they catch you online?
On X at Paul_Piggin.
Paul,
come and find me.
Or
on a Monday with the Rewind crew, or Thursday with you, Megs. So
absolutely, yeah. Follow them absolutely everywhere you can. And that's all for the show, folks. Just remember, for anything Dynasty, you need to know, keep it locked on the Certified Inferno. I will see you next time.